Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is VitruvianPhysique. Thank you for stopping by for what is a spectacular, momentous occasion. This is actually my 100th video. I just want to take a minute and say, a huge thank you to each and every one of you guys who, tune in and, like look at my face on a relatively consistent basis. So here's to 100 more videos because clearly you guys just can't get enough of the Opashansky.
Wish I knew how to quit you.
So the question of the day is, do full body workouts actually work? Yes, they do. All right, good? You guys happy? Every time I make one of these videos, I get like 100 comments saying, man, you talk a lot, just cut to the chase. Well, how do you like them apples? That was a solid, I'm not wearing a watch. That was a solid 12 seconds, so I think that's it. We done? We good? However, there are some exceptions. Big exceptions. Like 80% of the people watching this video exceptions. So yeah, y'all are fucked. But don't worry guys, don't worry, I got you. Sit back, take notes, and bitch get ready to learn. Alright guys, story time. Picture this, young Igor is 18 years old. He just spent all of grade 12 doing a little bit of CrossFit. He has built up his arms to a staggering 14 inches. His mom just bought him a 3-pack of Calvin Klein tank tops and he's ready to show off all 155 pounds of sexy muscle. Bench press, 185 pounds. Deadlift, what the fuck is that? Squat on the other hand, whoa, yo man, I don't do that shit, that's bad for your knees. Besides, 276 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, and I never once saw Goku's legs, so come on. So when I entered into university, those first 8 to 12 months was probably the time in my life where I made the most and the quickest actual mass and strength gains I have ever made in my entire life. Now there were probably a couple, multiple factors which contributed to this. Number one is simply testosterone. I'm going through puberty, so you're gonna grow. When you're going through puberty and you're rounding out like 17, 18, 19 years old, you're gonna put on muscle and you're gonna grow no matter what you do. You would have to try hard not to actually, put on some muscle and strength. Another factor is simply nutrition. For the first time in my life, I was finally controlling what I eat because I'm living on my own as opposed to with my family, my parents. So I was buying my own groceries, making my own food, tracking my own meals, and finally starting to understand oh shit, up until now I've been getting 40 grams of protein. I should probably fix that. And the third biggest thing was I finally started training properly, taking it seriously, and I finally started realizing the potential and the power of compound exercises, which is one of the reasons why I made this video. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. It's a nice quick informational video about what compound exercises are, the benefits to them, and why you guys should prioritize them in your workouts. So what actually ended up happening was I got one workout, and that was my split. I did the exact same workout, the exact same full body routine every other day, which works out to about 3 to 4 times per week, and it was as follows. Bench press, squat, deadlift, pull-ups, some kind of rowing exercise, whether this be dumbbell rows, barbell rows, or T-bar rows, overhead press, and finally dips. Now, the reason I say this is a full body workout is because it actually is when you think about it, because let's say we got chest and triceps working out in the bench press, squat obviously working out your legs, deadlifts working out your back, your hamstrings, and primarily your glutes, pull-ups working out your entire upper back, in addition to your actual biceps, which are worked inadvertently. Rows, same thing. Overhead press working out your shoulders and triceps, and dips working out your chest and triceps as well. So even though we're not actually having a legit arm day, your biceps are hit on all pulling movements, and your triceps are inadvertently exercised on all pushing movements such as overhead press, dips, and bench press. So that's it. I did this same routine every time I worked out, pretty much every other day, and I did this all for, what the fuck was that? I did this all for 3 sets of approximately 8 to 10 reps. That's it. This is all I did all day, every day. So the good news is I put on mass. I put on mass very, quickly. I started getting stronger. I started getting bigger. This is one of the first times in my life that people came up to me and they said, you look like a different person. What happened to you? I will never forget, I left for the summer. It was about 3 to 4 months back in college. And then I came back in second year and I had people who haven't seen in a while, and their exact words were what happened? So guys, obviously the answer to this video is yes, full body workouts do work because, I am living, breathing proof of that. I'm evidence of, their efficacy. However, guys, I do have to rain on your parade, and there are some pretty damn big exceptions as to why a full body workout, even though I'm saying all this good stuff and I'm praising it so much, and it seems like it's the secret to how I got so, well, not big, but I was okay. Just kidding, I'm fucking massive. That feels terrible. I don't know how Rich Biano lives his entire life like this.
Whatever it takes.
So the big issue to this rule is I think that full body workouts lose their benefit and lose their efficacy after about your first 1, maybe at most 2 years of training, because you significantly have to compromise on intensity of workouts, and thus you are having more workouts and you're training full body, but every time you're doing it, it's not a good workout. And guys, I actually want to know your opinions on this, so I went on my Snapchat and I asked you guys, what are your opinions on full body workouts? Have you guys tried it? If you have, are you still doing it, or did you stop? And if so, why did you happen? And overwhelmingly, a lot of you did have to switch to a regular kind of split after your first 1, 2, 3 years of training. And generally, all of you guys said pretty much it was because of one reason, and that is because you had to sacrifice intensity. And in addition to this, guys, I want to introduce you to a very important topic. This is something which is inherently important to all training workout programs out there. Every single training program out there is gonna have to take into consideration these 3 different factors, which I like to refer to as the triple trade-off. So what I mean by this is that you've got these 3 factors which influence what kind of a workout you are going to have and what kind of just a general training program you are going to have. So starting off with frequency, this is referring to how many times per week we are training. Are you training 1 time per week? So pretty much like you have something like chest Mondays or like leg Fridays. That is considered relatively low frequency because you are training with about 6 to 7 days of rest in between. This is not necessarily the best option for you, which I referenced in this video. That video kind of explains why having lower frequency is not necessarily the best option for you because your body, your central nervous system, your muscles, unless you are doing something ridiculous, like we're saying like I'm gonna go to the gym and lift like 225 on the bench press for 1,000 reps or something, or I'm doing some crazy challenge, or I'm doing some crazy 1 rep max. Aside from those rare instances, for the most part, your body is fully recovered and ready to go within about, generally speaking, 3 to 4 days. So if you wait 7 days, why are you doing that? You could have worked out again. You were essentially working out once a week when you could be training twice a week, added up the course of a year, and you've missed out on 52 workouts for 52 weeks. Congratulations, you're getting half the gains that you potentially could be getting. However, volume is also important as well. What I mean by volume is how long are you in the gym for and how many total sets you are doing. Something which is a very high volume workout would probably be like, we're talking high 20s or potentially even 30 plus sets. So let's say you do like 3 sets and you do 10 exercises. You were doing 30 sets in total that day. That is a very high volume workout. 20 to 26, 28, that's probably somewhere medium. And then anything less than 20, we're talking like 12, 14, 16 sets in total. Maybe you're doing like 3 exercises and you're only doing 4 sets each for 12 total sets. That's considered relatively low volume. And finally, intensity. This is one that's not as easy to quantify. It's like how many times per week do you work out? How many sets do you have? And here it's just like, are you working hard? That's it. There's no real way to, quantify this. I mean, I could sit here and talk about like percentages of your 1 rep max, but going beyond all that, because that's not a perfect system. Pretty much I'm asking you, how hard are you working? Are you lifting heavy? Are you lifting as heavy as you could? Or do you think you could go a little bit heavier, work out a little bit harder, had you had an additional 1, 2, 3 days of rest? And this is why these 3 are inherently important, because it's a zero-sum game. You can never add frequency, add volume, and add intensity at the same time. You're always gonna have to, if you raise one, you're gonna have to take away from the other one. It's, one goes up, one goes down. For example, guys, let's say we decide to increase volume. That is completely okay. However, if we're gonna have such a long, voluminous workout with like 30 sets, you're not gonna be like fully recovered within 2, 3, 4 days. You're gonna need extra time, and in doing so, frequency is going to go down. Or on the other hand, let's say we wanna keep frequency the same. We wanna keep volume the same, so we wanna have very frequent, very long, hard, physically taxing workouts. That's great, but your intensity is gonna go to shit. So what you're gonna end up doing is being in the gym very often for a very long period of time with relatively low weight.
And we're breaking out the good champagne. We're sitting pretty on the gravy train.
And that's essentially what happens to full body workouts, because you are going to be doing a lot of frequency because you're training your entire body. So unless you want to train like, once per week, you're gonna have to be training, every 1, 2, 3 days. you're going to be doing a lot of volume because for you to hit your entire body, you're going to need multiple exercises. In the example that I showed earlier, there was, I think, about 7 exercises, 3 sets each. We're talking 21 total sets, which is a reasonable amount of volume. So high volume, high frequency, there is no way you're going to be able to go in the gym and train 100%. We're talking balls to the wall, and because of that, you're not going to be able to increase the weight. No increase in weight means no progressive overload. No progressive overload means no gains. We do not want that. Okay guys, so we've established that a full body workout, although it is helpful, and it is very good for your first 1, maybe 2 years of training, because you're not going to be going that intense because you simply can't. You're relatively weak, let's be honest. You're just starting out. When I first entered the gym, and before I started really taking it seriously, I wasn't that strong. Like, I can go in the gym and I can do like 135 pounds or 1 plates on the bench press for like 3 sets of 10. I can go in tomorrow, do it again. Next day, do it again. I could pretty much bench 135 all day, every day for like a whole week, and I would never be so physically exhausted and sore. And I never really needed more rest days or recovery. However, after a while, I would get stronger. And I got to the point where I was doing 185, 225. I mean, these days when I have a working weight somewhere in the 265 to 275 range for actual sets and reps, there is no possible way that the next day or for a few days afterwards, I'm gonna be able to work out with the intensity. The only way that I would be able to do that would be if I dropped the weight down to like 225 or 185 or something. And even then I would have a shitty, crappy workout. I would pretty much be in the gym simply for the sake of being in the gym, not to actually have a good, awesome, intense workout focusing on progressive overload. So once we've established that, let's give you guys a few alternatives. So upper, lower. This pretty much cuts the frequency in half because instead of doing the same workout every single time you go to the gym, you have 2 workouts. One being upper body, we were talking triceps, biceps, back, shoulders, and chest. So a lot of upper body pulling and upper body pushing movements. And then your lower would be essentially your legs, things like the deadlifts, training your quads, glutes, hamstrings, calves, I guess. Just kidding, guys. So the good thing about this, guys, is because you have 2 different workouts, in addition to your rest days, you will have additional days off from training that muscle group. So let's say you do an upper workout. The next day you do a lower workout. Yes, you are working out, but you are resting your upper muscle groups. And then the day afterwards, you might do a rest day, which is additionally another rest day for your upper muscle groups. And then finally, when you train upper, you've had 2 full days of recovery, and it's a little bit easier than doing the exact same workout either every day or back to back, every other day where it's a little bit too much frequency. Option number 3, bro splits, or some people like to call it bodybuilding. What this is essentially the exact opposite of a full body workout. In this case, you will be specifically targeting and specializing on certain muscle groups and spending a whole day simply on that muscle group. You're not multitasking, for lack of a better word. You're not going to be training legs on the same day you train your upper body and chest and tricep. None of this stuff. You're going to be focusing on one muscle group. For example, you might have, the world famous chest Mondays, then you might do a leg workout, a back workout, shoulder workout, and then a lot of times people, who train like a bodybuilder will actually have its own day for arms. One of the reasons they call it a bro split is because it's kind of like, yo bro, what's up, let's go hit some arms, and then hit like, chest Mondays. So that's kind of like where the euphemism comes from. I actually switched to this from my 2nd to 4th years of university. After that first year of just doing a full body compound day every single day, I wanted to specialize more. What I mean by this is, like I said, specializing in and specifically doing one muscle group. And instead of just kind of like, oh, I did bench press today, so that's my chest workout, even though you only did like what, 3 sets for the chest. No, we're talking 20, 25, 28, 30 sets, specializing and absolutely just annihilating that one muscle group. Yes, I'm not gonna be able to train it again for 5, 6, 7 days, but that one workout is gonna be awesome. However, this is a little bit too much. It's kind of like full body and bro splits are on either side of the spectrum, and ideally you have to stay somewhere in the middle, which is why I recommend to all my viewers a push-pull legs program. So push-pull legs is pretty much the combination of everything we've discussed today. There is a reasonable amount of frequency because, like I said, you're gonna be doing like workout, then you have 1, 2, and then a rest day, and then again. So we're talking 3 total days of rest, which is fine, not too little, not too much. The intensity is still relatively high because you have a reasonable amount of rest time in between, and the volume is also reasonably high because, like I said, 3 days of rest, it's enough. Alright guys, so to wrap things up and give you guys, the viewer, my personal recommendation for what you should be doing depending on your specific situation. If you are new to training, we're talking your first 1, maybe at most 2 years of training, you are still trying to build that foundation of muscle, of strength, and you are still trying to, really get the form down for each of the exercises, I highly recommend a full body workout, or potentially, actually even more so, an upper lower body workout. A few examples of this, very popular ones, you can just Google search. Actually, no, I'll include a link for you guys down in the description below because I love you guys that much. Some great examples of this would be programs like Starting Strength or 5x5. These are very basic, very general programs which focus and have a lot of emphasis on the compound lifts with a reasonable amount of frequency. However, if you want to be a legit bodybuilder and you want to just eviscerate the muscle, you want to get in the gym, you're like a workhorse. You're one of those guys who wants to work out for like, not even 1.5, like we're talking 2.5 hours, just crush the muscle group. You want to be a legit hardcore bodybuilder. Bro splits or bodybuilding may be right for you. That specialization that you get, that sheer, crazy amount of volume that you get is unparalleled. And actually, for any of you guys out there who are watching this, who may be an enhanced athlete, so you are on performance enhancing drugs, you're on steroids, let's just cut to the chase. Bro splits or bodybuilding can be better because your body reacts a lot better to volume. That's why you see guys like, Mr. Olympias, they'll be lifting a little bit of weights, but they'll just be blasting. They'll be doing like, 30, 40 sets in total of volume because their body's getting so much exogenous testosterone that they don't really need to have crazy high intensity in terms of weight workouts. They're much more interested in volume. And for pretty much everybody else, I recommend the push-pull legs workout. It's the perfect combination of frequency, intensity, volume. And another benefit is because there are only 3 workouts, if you work out intense enough, if you work out, hard and heavy enough, you can only work out essentially 3 times per week. If you're an individual who has a very bad schedule, maybe you've got class, you've got work, you've got a family life, whatever it may be, and you can't get into the gym, for a bro split, you have to be in the gym, we're talking like 5-6 times a week. With a push-pull legs, you can do your push, take 2 days off, do your pull, take 1 or 2 days off, do your legs. That way you only have 3 very difficult, very intense workouts per week. Okay guys, that is it. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize if it went very, if it's too long. There's just a lot of stuff I want to cover, and I really want to give you guys the information you need to succeed. I hope you can, take what you learned here and apply it to yourselves and choose the workout split that is right for you. And if you guys are currently doing a full body workout program, go kill it, enjoy it. Eventually you will have to probably, switch to something else, of which I give you a couple alternatives. Either way guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here for 100 videos. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. My only goal is to keep doing this and hopefully do it better because I truly believe that each and every one of you guys deserve that. So I'll see you in the next video.